Welcome to Gamescom.
Fantastic. Game trailers all access.
This takes place 5 years after the events of the last game, so some time has passed, some events have happened. There's a new antagonist that's kind of came into town. His name's Handsome Jack. He's kind of in charge of the Hyperion Corporation now, and they're back kind of with a vengeance, and he's sort of ravaging the landscape. Early into the game, he sort of humiliates you, leaves you to die, and he's sort of the main target throughout this story. When looking at the sequel, we knew that we wanted to bring some new things for people. We know some people may be heartbroken that, oh, I love Lilith and I wanted to play as her, but we felt let's use those characters as NPCs this time around. Let's use them to flesh out the world and add a little more depth inside of that. So now you get to see a little more about them and learn a little more about them as they sort of, as you kind of help you throughout this story. Obviously, the guns were kind of one of the big selling points of the first game. We had the millions and millions of guns. So we really wanted to look at that and see, and we realized that in the first game, it was kind of hard to tell the difference between a TDR to a Jacobs or something. So we really kind of went back to the drawing board. We took the guns, pretty much threw them out and reconceptualized them from the ground up and rebuilt them. So there's a lot more individuality between them, the differences in how they even act, from like the TDR, which as you fire and you don't even reload, you just throw it away and it just explodes and a new one destructs in your hand. But that also, not only is that kind of an interesting perk to that weapon, but it adds a new level of strategy. The amount of bullets left in your clip when you throw it is the amount of damage that will be dealt to the target if you hit it and it explodes like a grenade. So that's kind of one of the examples of really trying to put a personality, not only visually, but from a gameplay perspective into the guns. And we're doing that on all of them this time. So AI was a really big thing we wanted to hit on. We felt things worked well in the first game, but we wanted to take it up. So as you're fighting something, there's a lot more diversity in what it may or may not do. You might have this creature run at you. It might gain higher ground to jump at you. Maybe it's going to pick up a piece of the world and huck it at you. Or if you're talking in the case of a humanoid, they're a lot more intelligent as far as finding cover, using some flanking, taking commands from leaders, or even the skags. If there's a flame like Alpha Skag, it can call them to him, kind of do like a flame ground pound, catch all the little skaglings on fire. So now you've got an army of fire skags, and there's a lot more communication within the enemies towards you to sort of, and it's not pre-scripted. It's just, it looks at the situation that's happening and kind of does what it feels is most appropriate in that situation. Variety is really a word that we're using a lot with this game. You know, we mentioned that with the weapons and the enemies, but inside of the environments, we knew the first game was a little monotone. It had a lot of desert vibe in that. We wanted to take you to new places on Pandora. So there's still the classic desert landscape at parts in there, but you know, you'll be visiting the Arctic, the tundra, to a greener area, the Scottish Highlands. And there's other areas that we're not revealing right now or talking about, but that was a really key thing for us because we wanted to make sure as you were progressing through the game, there was a constant shift in the environment and the zones that you were in. First-person shooters, your interaction with the environment typically is through bullets into things, so we wanted to make sure not only from the hit impacts, but to know that you're actually affecting what's coming at you. So, for instance, if a creature or an enemy is approaching you now and you pump bullets into it and it's about to die, it's not this spry lithe thing that's, you know, it's hurt, it's damaged, it's limping at you. And now you can sort of use that situation to, okay, this one is not hurt, but this can't get to me, so I'm going to kind of run around it and try to take out what's the more dangerous target right now. And the flinch animations, as far as people kind of tripping over, getting hit, and even the dodging and the rolling, it was one of those things that we just didn't want the enemies, be it a creature or a bandit or a humanoid, to just feel like it just was running straight at you and never being affected by, you know, they're staggering, they're getting stunned, they're falling down, they're rolling away and limping, and just to try to put a little more realism into that. The skill tree is obviously, or skill trees, I should say, are obvious big part of the game from the role-playing side of that. Each of the character classes has their own action skill, their unique ability. We kind of call it the fun button. When you hit that, you know, something great happens. That's kind of one of the reasons you want to play those characters. And talking about the Gunzerker, the character class that we're showing, Salvador, he has the ability to dual wield. So that's a really important feature when you think about, oh, this is a game with millions of guns. I can and we're not just letting you like dual wield pistols. You can dual wield anything. In each of the directions in the trees themselves, we're really trying to create really interesting ways that you can modify the action skill and the passive skills to create different builds. There's certain things with the Gunzerker, for example, towards the end of one of his trees, he has the ability to just the longer you hold down the button, the more bullets come out of the gun and the faster. So when you think about that dual wielding with twin Vladov miniguns with 100-round clips, that at the same time, it's really that character in particular is just really dangerous when it comes to that. But it's not just about doing that. It's about augmenting the team that's around you and how their skills will be, interacting with your own and what things you can expect out there. It's Borderlands is a little over the top, and we're really trying to take the skill trees that much further this time around. Borderlands 2, we're coming out on the Xbox 360, PS3, PC. The game is expected, and our date is 2012.